front line. And Gnar going to be picked up here for the side of Fred Brion. It's definitely going to be good for team fighting. Their composition scales extremely well with the Victor that they've decided to go with here. Works well with Hecarim in terms of the jungle. You can actually look for picks on the bottom side of the map or the top side of the map, depending on where Canyon is. So tracking where the Graves is can actually lead to a lot of pressure in the early game with this Victor. And then he could scale up super well as the Lulu will be the support here, actually. I mean, very likely.
Top lane.
Yeah, it could be.
Because we have seen that before. Of course, this was an old favorite of our old mate Noguri while he was up here. And Damwon Kia, of course, the same team, might be wanting to utilize that, but it could still be support. Like, we don't necessarily know. Of course, if you do put Lulu in that bottom side, then you do have a lot more lane power because you can poke out the rel, but Gragas is just so good at stopping the crash down that I would imagine that this is what we're going to see. So now, Canyon has a lot of options when it comes to ganking lanes. This is another one of the Damwon Kia drafts that's all about making Canyon a raid boss. And they can definitely get that done with this Lulu able to augment so much of what Graves can get done, and then Showmaker having a lot of backup damage with all of the CC that he can provide just by himself. It was that Zoe doesn't provide enough consistency. Something like a Victor would have done a much better job in that instance, and they've gone,
so there's no lanes he can gank safely, there's no farm he can get, he's just not in a good place.
Well, that Attract Repel is not the one that you really want here as Delight's burning down. He has to flash as Beryl goes in, gets the kill. Ghost flashes forward as well, didn't really need to. However, they do guarantee first blood on the bottom side of the map for Damwon Kia, and this was the one lane that wasn't going terribly for Fred at Brion.
Yeah. Ironically, it's, oh, hold that thought. We might get another pick here.
Yeah, there's the flash out from Khan. Does shield himself up, but the flash forward from Hoya. This should be a dead Lulu pretty comfortably, and Hoya will lock that one down. So an immediate answer here from Fred Brion on the top side. And feels like Khan goes into the bank to try and find his counter pick of choice, and has chosen one that has worked pretty well so far. Counter picks have been interesting in the LCK
recently,
for the last week or two, as we did see the Nasus coming out into the Scion. That was in fact Damwon Kia that had to deal with that, and they did so very nicely.
Yeah, Chronicler's actually, oh, we might see this once again.
Yeah,
no flash for Khan.
No flash for Hoya either, but no mana for Khan as well, as he does have the wild growth and does use that in order to create enough distance. Canyon just going to say thank you very much for this Cloud Drake. No Cloud Soul here today for game number 1. Heck yes. Maybe, just maybe, I have got it out of my system.
Now, this one's not going to lead to anything. At least secure the ward charge.
That's how you cue the cannon minion. As Crashdown comes through yet again, Attract Repel for the stun. It's once again Delight taking a lot of damage. Ghost wants to pop that passive and does so, and that's an easy 2v2 kill once again for Damwon Kia. They're just better.
To know that you're like just never going to get blown up in these fights. Just hold that.
Yep. Showmaker just going to get the shuffle, and Canyon just says, thank you very much. Collateral damage, and walks away. Comes back again afterwards because Showmaker says, help me shove this wave.
In almost every matchup, is Damwon Kia now going to try to turn this into some mid-turret plates on the mid-turret.
Yeah, Khan even coming down here as the Barrel is going to come back. Barrel tanking up the turret for just a little while as Umpty trying to get them out of here, but maybe goes a little bit early as the Super Mega Death Rocket does fly by.
He goes in and looks for a Magnet Storm to start the fight. That I'm very concerned for Fred Brion's comp here. Is this a nice bait attempt?
Yeah, and actually, Umpty might be able to finish this one off. Doesn't have a lot of damage, as of course he's just sitting on a couple of Ruby Crystals, and the Hecarim doesn't do as much early game damage as he used to, as Yaharong is going to turn up. No turret there for Khan, and he will be taken down with a Chaos Storm to the face. We've got another dive being set up here on the bottom side, though, as if Fred Brion can weather this, then certainly a very great turn of events.
But, I mean, if you just sit back and wait, you're going to lose more on the map anyway, so I appreciate the gumption here.
Yeah. I agree. That being said, I mean, Fred Brion do sacrifice the entire bottom side of the map. There's no way that they can get any priority in mid because they did lose that turret maker. When we throw some soldiers in and make his life difficult. Canyon down here towards the bot side. Looks like they're not going to challenge for the rip-off, is now Barrel getting closed in on. Teleport, yeah, towards the bottom side here as there's the Barrel. Does get Hoya out of position as he does get a decent gnaw back. They're focusing Ghost, who should go down relatively quickly, gets the wild growth, but eventually does fall. Graves gets one back as well as now Showmaker slightly out of position. Beryl has to flash, and it's a big win for Fred Brion on the bottom side.
Oh man, this is another one of those plays that you don't expect from Fred Brion. This is not a team that makes choices like this, but they are making so many aggressive calls in this game, and Hoya makes that teleport to the bottom bottom side of the map into a very nice engage. Umpty's ultimate there as well. Well played. And then rotate around with this Rift Herald pressure for the Drake that's spawning in 20 seconds. Like, the timing of all of this worked so well for Fred at Brion.
Yeah, even though Yaharong was like happy feeding for a really long time there towards the bottom side, they were still able to get the value that they were looking for. Tower falls down on the bottom side of the map, and now Damwon just trying to get to work, clearing out these creeps. But Fred at Brion do not want to give away this dragon. Soul Point, very valuable, especially when it's this Mountain Soul. I mean, Mountains would just be absolutely insane for this Fred at Brion comp if they can get their hands on them.
Exactly. Damwon on the Drake first, but remember, there's so much disengage for Damwon. I don't know if Fred at Brion can actually just turn this fight. They can't necessarily get in. Emperor's Device is going to be so important. As you pointed out in the last fight, we didn't see it.
As is the explosive cast from Canyon. Not going to be able to take away the Drake as it is secured by Umpty. He gets into the backline, moves Beryl out of position, but the Rel is already taken down. They've traded support so far, and now Damwon looking to try and press further forward, but a 1-for-1 with the Drake going in the hands of Fred at Brion. They're going to be super happy with that. Damwon are going to have to look for more flanks in this game. I think a lot of it will have to do with Beryl breaking up teamfights from the very beginning and delivering a kill onto a carry. Speaking of which, goodbye, Hannah. That's exactly what we were talking about. Thank you so much, Damwon for showing us exactly what we wanted to see.
Unfortunately, Caster cursed by you, I guess, in this case, is picked, and now you can't challenge this as easily as Fred at Brion. I mean,
this Baron's going down so extraordinarily fast. Sand Soldiers just doing so much work. As in goes Beryl, he gets Chaos Stormed immediately. Magnus Storm not quite getting the value that it wants as Umpty. Gonna have to get out of there. Beryl's gonna be the sacrificial lamb, but it's a trade. 1-for-1 plus a Baron, and you'll take that any day of the week, as that's a majestic rocket, but it's not gonna do anything other than look cool as it sails by. Yeah, I mean, it was because Henna was walking by himself, right? But now
they're trying to race this down.
Yeah, they've got them all set up here as Beryl moves on in. So Mega Death Rocket and Canyon will secure it. Umpty immediately gets out of there. And it looks like Damwon are just going to be able to rotate around. Fred at Brion, without actually taking this minion wave down just yet, not going to be able to prevent Damwon from getting towards the inner turret to be available. As Damwon 4 seconds here until the Drake comes up. Fred at Brion not in the greatest position.
Look at the damage here, though, for Fred at Brion. If they can actually just get on top of Damwon they can win a fight here.
Yeah, if Yaharong can get into position and actually execute on his damage numbers, it can certainly work out. Super Mega Death Rocket just to loosen up the members, as that Magnus Storm's going to get a lot of value. Big shields out, though, as it is going to be Beryl going down. Once again, it's just going to be a trade as the Jinx locks down the Drake. And they just walk their way out. A denial of the Mountain Soul, as well as adding a second stack for Fred at Brion.
And no vision here.
Is Damwon just going to steal another Baron?
They have vision on the scuttle, so they should be able to see this coming.
Yeah, Ghost actually snuck in there with the supercharger as Beryl's going to try and interrupt. Not going to be able to steal it away as Umpty. That was very close to a 50-50. Ghost is going to flash over that wall to get out. And Damwon just taking lunch money, man. Like, we can see that in these straight-up team fights, Fred at Brion do very, very well.
Yeah, but they're just not getting any.
Yeah, but you also just, you can't be that lax in your vision control, because that's what can throw away, clear out vision and then walk away. So it did look like they weren't there, but then when you've got Azir that can do damage over the wall, quick draw to allow Canyon to dash on in there, like, it's still not a good enough excuse to say that, oh, he sort of juked it and we just assumed they didn't do it. All of these items that they're picking up are so valuable as well. I mean, especially Calm when he gets towards this Ardent Sensor that's going to be coming in next. It is a big damage advantage as in goes Umpty. He's found the flank onto Ghost. Doesn't quite get the displacement there, though, because of the dead turret. And so he is able to walk his way out. And Showmaker, in the meantime, is just smacking down this turret on the top side. Fred at Brion are now coming on in. There are a lot of Sand Soldiers set up for Showmaker to taxi his way out. And he's just going to be able to take an inhibitor turret and get out of there. Hoya goes in with a Nara into the wall, but there's zero follow-up.
Yeah, and this is the second time in this exchange where there's been a nice engage, but no follow-up. I mean, Umpty's wraparound was really cool in theory, especially if he catches Ghost, but if there's no damage, does it even matter? The answer is no. Now an inhibitor turret is down. They can't really start this with the hopes of finishing it quickly. Yeah. Ghost is a threat that can engage, though, from a long distance.
Exactly, like Killer Instinct is going to be able to get him into any sort of engagement if it does actually break out. There's now Umpty moving on in. He's already taken a little bit of poke here as Beryl is keeping his eye on what's going on, throwing barrels around, things like that. Canyon not in position to smite right now. They don't really care about taking away the Drake. They just want to win a teamfight. As Delight is going to go down. Hoya has to flash to get himself out, and Canyon says, heck no, you are not getting away from me. Now he's rotating around to the last remaining 3 members, and Damwon Kia, with just 2 picks, they should be able to lock themselves down and inhibit it at least.
Instead of deciding to try to take the Drake Smite fight, they kind of walk away and wait for Fred Brion to collapse in, and that's when they pull the trigger. That's when they go in for the fight. Ended up getting those picks. They know that in that straight-up trade, they won't be able to make it happen.
Well, Umpty's going in yet again as Canyon just focuses on taking down the turret. They're going to get all of the inhibitors. So definitely trading up here. They're like, well, you can have your 3rd Mountain Drake. We'll raise you 3 inhibitors. Just avoiding the poke as best they can. The Baron has been started here from Fred Brion. It's desperation, but it's needed. As now Beryl setting himself up. Hoya taking a fair bit of damage there as even the Void Seeker's doing a lot of work. Canyon gets in from the side and Henry's just obliterated. Canyon goes gold and he bought so much time already as goes over the wall, able to deal with Umpty. Beryl has all the CC required. Canyon does fall, but it does not matter. Yaharong running for the hills as the Void Seeker is avoided, but it doesn't matter. He's still going to die. He's going to take a bow there and show off his top hat as this is the end of the game, but beautifully executed by both teams, actually. There were some moments here that where Fred Brion showed us exactly how this comp's supposed to work, but it was a Damwon macro masterclass outside of that.
It was really the showcasing of their macro, their understanding of the team comps for Fred Brion, right? Like, take a look at the damage here. A ton of damage coming through from Ghost. Very safe positioning all game long, but there were some good moments for Fred Brion. They actually took team fights and took skirmishes in the early game where they were high risk, high reward, which is something that we haven't really been able to say about this team up until this point.
Yeah.
That teleport fight we had on the bottom side of the map, for example, Yaharong rotating all the way around to the top side to get that kill onto Khan. These are plays we need to see more often of from Fred Brion. So before I was going to say for the top, but
Sion. Hey man, Sion could be mid lane.
Yeah.
So can the Gragas.
Damwon have 3 champions that can rotate, right? So this is such a scary team to draft against, and pulling the
R5 Renekton, baby. That's what we're looking for. Love it.
That's a bit of a bold statement because it's difficult to find value with Renekton into the Sion or the Gragas in the top lane.
Yeah, it is better into the Sion because you can cancel out his shield. That's certainly good. There was actually a great comment on the post-match thread about how valuable the what is it, Serpent's Blade or something like that? The one that
the shield breaker
guy.
Yeah.
That one's would have been really good into that Zoe last time around. And
might be good here too, honestly, given the Seraphine and the Sion.
Exactly. This is another example of that, and also very valuable into the Fred Brion composition. In fact, on both sides of the rift. Yep.
As long as Showmaker is stable here, I do think Damwon Kia is the stronger team and will just kind of win out later on.
The scary thing is that Damwon Kia now have that front-to-back team-fighting composition that Fred Brion had in the last game, and it's easier to execute. But stun does come in, and then Khan is able to actually utilize the shield for some value there to mitigate some of that cold meat damage. As Umpty's coming up towards the top side, this is a pretty good engage from Hoya. The flash out from Khan giving him a lot of respect.
This is a matchup where early on, we see Renekton's even sometimes proxying the minions between turrets. Canyon is rotating up, though.
Yeah, gets himself the smoke screen. Hoya having to run away. Flashes on in for the stun as now Canyon, with that red buff, doing a fair bit of work. So the flashes traded in the end, I guess you could say.
Then this composition just safely scales. Canyon just gets away with this.
Yeah, just hops down, takes away the Drake. Mountain is going to be the next one, so we could have a fun Drake or a very boring Drake. And this is the gank that you were talking about.
Yep, 6 is hit. This is the timing.
Let's see whether Showmaker is going to give the respect. The answer's unnecessary.
Scoop is the wrong direction.
It very weirdly, exactly.
He needed to scoop it back towards his turret. If you scoop it at that angle, then Showmaker's like, what? Yeah. I don't know if I'd call that a gank, unfortunately.
Yeah, it was a little bit sad as that's another phenomenal body slam. Blade Caller comes in. Delight has been lit on fire as there's the flash out from Ghost, avoiding Umpty, and that devastating charge as Beryl still chasing after this one. You can see Canyon in that mid lane. Beryl's just going aggressive because he feels like it in this 2 versus 3 scenario, and Ghost is given a lot of extra space. Flash is now on cooldown, but they traded it for Delights as well.
Just keeping that duo proximity low, man.
Absolutely.
It's just going to be away And
Sometimes
now
I feel like Beryl's duo partner is actually Khan. As Canyon going to start off this Rift Herald. Delight in the area as well.
look at Hoya. He
Oh
can't
my
even
God,
get
yeah,
here.
He's so low. Khan doesn't have ulti. Flash available for the Scion, almost up here for Hoya, but it looks like Fred Brion shouldn't be able to fight this as they do manage to take this one down. Umpty's going to be taxied back as Graves grabs the first blood. Empress Divide is good though onto Beryl, who's surviving for way too long. In fact, gets a lot of damage down, flashes on away. And now Hoya is stunned at the back of the pit. He's dead as well. And Damwon Kia off to a phenomenal start.
But the longer fight here is going to be Damwon Kia's no matter what because of the state of the health bars here. And when you look at where Beryl is, like no one is on top of him right now, so he just turns around. And then you see Lava commits in for the Emperor's Divide. But where's the damage? Hoya's trying to kill Canyon. And when there's two targets here and no one is like, it's like they don't actually commit to one side or the other. You kill neither Canyon nor Beryl here. The shot calling in this fight. Damwon Kia just ready to take another objective here. Umpty gonna look for the wraparound. Oh, look at Beryl, he's so good.
Yeah, exactly. Delight is going to get pushed out of this fight right now. There's the onslaught of shadows into the backline as Umpty's still pretty healthy in this one, but in goes the Scion. Triple knock-up. The Encore only onto Hoya, but that's all they needed to evaporate the Renekton, and now Fred Brion are on the run, shifting sands to get Lava out of there, but this is exactly what Damwon wanted. They'll take themselves the Drake, and this is going from bad to worse.
He's damaging this turret quite significantly, right? Got an extra plate. Khan is uncontested.
Oh, he almost got that auto off. This is like that got an ulti out of Hoya. This is so scary.
He has to, and now
0 plates. This could be a perfect game with no plates even as Canyon comes up towards that top side. The easiest dive of the universe happens.
Good seems that way.
Well, I guess they could be played in like every single lane back in Season 1. As Umpty's going to come down, he's going to try and get his revenge here onto Beryl, who does get pushed back. Goodbye, perfect game maybe, and yes, he will be taken down. Now Ghost is getting chased out. No mana left on Umpty though, as the Blade Caller not able to get too much value. As you can see, a bunch of pings on the top side of the map, and Khan's looking to try and push this one in.
Extremely tanky Scion.
Well, now we've got the third Drake of the game being taken down very simply. Going to get that absolutely coveted Cloud Soul that Damwon Kia get way too many of. Lethality Scion, anyone? It's doing too much damage.
We're waiting for it.
Has to use the ulti. Really well played there by Umpty to guarantee that the Zaya's positioning was messed up. And they do lock down yet another kill on one of the bottom lane members. They'll transition this into a red buff steal. I don't know whether it's quite enough to get this game back on their side. Yeah, you really need to try and get into the backline, but the thing is, like, the peel is actually really good on the side of Damwon Kia this time around. As Beryl is going to demonstrate that. Goodbye, Lava.
Yikes. That's his first death of the game, but
yeah, that was pretty fast.
He was, he went down right away. I mean, this is another amazing play from Beryl, who's just Kia have so many times and continue to, because he is so good at Gragas, better than most supports who play Gragas.
It used to be all about life's Gragas, right? But now I feel like Beryl has really taken the title of our, Gragas supporter. As the train leaves, oh, that's some real nice drifting there. Right on the edge, as Khan just slightly misses the minions. But that's okay. He will put up the Damwon sign. Like it a lot.
Yeah, I mean, look, this is a game that Fred Brion.
Oh, they also just took Cloud Soul without any response.
By getting caught by that potentially. Uh-oh.
Yeah, Canyon going to get engaged on here. Gets very, very frightened, and you can understand exactly why now. Beryl might suffer the same fate. Could this be Fred Brion coming alive as beat drop? Not quite going to work out here as we're waiting for the Encore, but Showmaker not going to go for it. And without the jungler, Fred Brion think that it's time to go for this Baron.
Khan's got teleport. He's coming through.
Scion is going to come in here as Delight is taken down very, very low. Hoya with the ulti pre-popped is now looking to try and get on top of Ghost. The Encore lands onto 3 as Khan gets into the backline, but they've lost the Xayah. Showmaker wants to be able to get the work done here as, oh my god, Lava just gets body slammed out of an attempted Emperor's Divide. And look at this, is what we were talking about. They can't kill Khan.
They can't kill him.
It's just taken everything from these guys as Showmaker tries to get the beat drop and the Renekton will fall. Emperor's Divide to try and stop him, but it's too little too late.
Unbelievable.
And it looked like they lost their damage, Wolf. It
was 4v5.
It didn't matter.
It was 4v5. And Showmaker did so much damage in this fight with all the stacks he's gotten at this stage of the game. This is unbelievable. This is actually insanity what we're watching right now as Canyon gets greedy, does end up getting the vision here, but, you know, pays for it with his life. Fred and Brion feel like, okay, it's time, we're going to take a Baron. And the the ensuing fight is actually insane. Like, watch how much damage Showmaker does in this fight. I want to see the damage numbers, in fact, because I think he might have actually out-damaged Lava in this fight. As Khan just comes through, he misses his ultimate. He doesn't even get the knockups, but the charm is there, and they cannot get on top of Showmaker because Khan is just frontlining like a madman, 1v5, and Showmaker is just tossing in Qs, and he's just doing so much damage, you can't actually fight this. Khan's unkillable. I cannot believe what we just watched.
Silly. It is so silly. Because they're trying to ignore Khan as best they can, but actually he does a deceptively large amount of damage.
Yeah, look at the shields at the end of the fight where it's already over. He didn't even use those when it mattered. He didn't even need those.
Is the train going to come out yet again as, oh, some sexy drifting there from Khan. And they're going to take a Baron right on top of a whole bunch of wards that have now lost all of their sight because of that pink one in the back of the pit. And Damwon Kia, yes, they were ludicrously far ahead. That was a bit comical in the last fight, but they go over.
And with this Baron buff, Damwon Kia just group, right? They don't need a side laner. They're just going to push us 5.
Well, in goes the train. Not going to find any stuns, but buys enough space. It's exactly what Khan needed to do. Is now Canyon actually able to get so much damage onto Delight right here. As Khan, he's just walking under turrets, just straight up does not care about anything. As maybe this is just the push for the win. They have Baron, they have Elder. Elder's there for just under a minute.
They check.
It looks like we're looking for the inhibitor turret in mid as Beryl. He was the one pushing this one out. Searching for Umpty first and decides to taxi a wave in. And they'll say thank you very much to their second inhibitor.
Damwon Kia in prime position to close this one out. Now they just walk away.
Fred and Brion do have one last team fight in them, but it will be desperation, if anything.
Khan's got his
Khan lost about 1,000 health.
Oh no!
How valuable.
Anyway.
As, yeah, Canyon just going to dive on forward. Umpty's going to have to get out of there as he's not tanky enough at all. As Lava's trying to shift the sands to get himself out, he sets himself up for Sun Disc.
You've got to dodge Khan's ultimate if you can. That's why everyone's respecting where he's standing so much here, because he's got that ult available. They know it.
Showmaker. That's a lot of damage from the passive there.
He's
not a lot of counterplay options to that one either, as yeah, we've got a lot of super creeps moving their way in. As Lava's trying to get out. The drifting once again, looking beautiful. He finds Lava. Once just half healths him as full tank Scion. The Gargoyle Stoneplate going to mean that he should be able to get out as the minions were 100% trolling him there, but it's not going to cost him his life. Umpty's going to get body slammed back. You can see Showmaker doing a lot of work. Ghost wasn't there to get the follow-up damage, but it doesn't really matter. Showmaker locks down the Azir as Hoya has to go golden there towards the backside. Canyon not going to be so lucky here. But I think this is the end of this one, Wolf, as Umpty's going to have to get out. In comes Scion once again as he teleports onto the minions. And yeah, they're just going to celebrate towards the end of this one. Khan goes golden, but it's just the Nexus that they have to finish off. He dies! Oh my goodness, his first death of the series. As Hoya's going to have to go back to the fountain, and the Nexus is going to be finished off by Ghost, but
lost to Fred at Brion last time around, a little bit somber. He does top the damage chart, 19.9. Almost broke 20. Almost broke 20 this game.
So silly.
This is Damwon Kia at their best. This is peak Damwon Kia. You get them a lead, and they are just going to absolutely crush you. 11,000 gold, the gold difference.
Over 3 times the damage of a Renekton as full tank Scion Wolf.
Insane.
Stupid. That is just absurd.